Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you all are having a good weekend. We're going to go over some news real quick. Not really news, but we're going to go over this article. They're talking about the institutional demand for Bitcoin, what's driving the rally. Then we're going to take a look at Bitcoin and also XRP. So let's go over this. By the way, none of this is financial advice, just for educational purposes only. Institutions to drive price rally. While Bitcoin's historical 4-year cycle suggests further gains, Dr. Heinz Bach predicts that the move. So he's from Uphold. So this is a prediction from Dr. Martin Heinz Bach, if I'm saying that right, from Uphold. The Uphold research lead hinted that it would be driven mainly by the institutional demand for Bitcoin. Notably, the above predictions are not completely out of the ordinary. Earlier this year, Bloomberg analysts predicted that Bitcoin would reach 500,000 due to increased institutional involvement. So it's hard to say how much, obviously this would to kind of like predict this, because you can't really predict the future, but just that amount of money coming in to the market, we'll just have to see what happens. But traditional finance giants such as BlackRock, Fidelity, and Templeton are on the cusp of receiving regulatory approval for Bitcoin ETF. So this is one of the drivers why we're seeing Bitcoin rally. Another one is the halving coming up, and then also interest rates. So those are all three pretty good catalysts for what we're seeing here. So staying up to date with what's happening with those things, and finding your matches in price action, it's going to be the best scenarios. But many anticipate that approving such a product would make Bitcoin exposure easily accessible and lead to an influx of fresh capital into the asset. The potential for a Bitcoin ETF has been a primary driver behind the price of Bitcoin doubling since the start of the year. So we're already nearly 50% to the top from our low that was around 15.7. Bitcoin sits above the 43,000 mark at the time of writing. Also, so Bitcoin just broke a trend. Also, it's another reason why I wanted to get on right now on the hour. At the time of writing, within 844 billion market cap. So with that being said, just wanted to go over with what's driving the market for anybody that's new to the channel. My name is Jacob Beaver, and I'm an analyst and trader. And so we're going to go over some stuff here, but not financial advice. Not financial advice. So we've seen a substantial rally up since we broke this last consolidation period. And this is kind of what we've been seeing. But let's take a broader view out. So we moved sideways basically between, and it took us a long time to break this, the 25K support between 25 right here, 25K and 31. So this is pretty much like the area that some people I know are speculating price could come back to. Another place is going to be here around 35, at the bottom of 35, or this support right here. So what we're going to do is go ahead and we'll mark up some levels real quick. But first I wanted to take a look at this trend, and then we're going to look at other trends. Also point out that trends, just real briefly, the top 6 indicators, just want to touch on this real quick. The top 6 indicators, since we're talking about trends and price action, is finding sediment. So trading with sediment, market sediment. What kind of sediment? Are we bullish or are we bearish? We are bullish. Price has been shooting up, so that's pretty obvious to know that. And then also market structure. So what type of structure are we in? So we could tell more by, at this point, because we hadn't been here long, by zooming in. So you want to find out which way the market's going, what kind of structure. And structure, I mean, are we forming a consolidation? And this is what I was going to get to right here before we got to the trend, but are we going to go to a consolidation phase? Will we move sideways like this until we get approval, or are we going to break down back down to one of these supports? But so anyway, so finding out which way the market is going and going with it rather than against it is going to increase odds. And then identifying what type of structure excuse me, are we in right now, meaning as far as price action goes, and this is what I'm referring to mainly. Besides knowing what's driving the market, we'll stay away from that. We're just going to talk about charts. So you could add that into it, and that would be 7. So you have sediment, structure. What is this? So it looks like we're starting in possibly a consolidation phase. We'll just have to wait and see. We did break this trend. So, okay, we could say that we're consolidating. We've been consolidating. We're on the 1 hour. We've been consolidating for 4 days, 2 hours. This is not a whole long time. We've seen Bitcoin consolidations previously last, over a month. So, and some even more, but this is where we are right now. So this isn't a really long time that we've been consolidating. Another reason why we had to zoom in. So knowing that we're moving up with sediment, we're in a consolidation, which typically we will resume trend with a breakout. But considering the amount that we have gone up is one thing. These gaps where we got no retracement, we just broke this trend. We could sit here and consolidate, but just to touch on these real briefly. So we have sediment, structure, we have zones, so price levels, and then we have trends. And then a lot of people will, especially technical traders, mathematical traders, and most everyone else is going to have some kind of technical indicator for buying or selling, like giving the final go ahead. So we just call it price action confirmation. So we have sediment, once again, sediment, structure, and ideally, since personally, and again, this isn't financial advice, we'll be looking for buys. So we'll be looking for price action confirmation, ideally at a trend and or a support level, and then to see a break in that going towards our direction, a retest. So altogether, we have market sediment, market structure, identifying the market structure, seeing where the trends are and the zones are. So these are all indicators. As far as technical analysis goes, they are your primary indicators, and that if you identify these, you can use these to your advantage to get more right than wrong. So we have, once again, sediment, structure, trend, a support or resistance, a break. So we want to see like a break in structure, and a new type of structure being a reversal on a pullback, which would be a continuation, is another one. But all this stuff is after your psychology. Not going to go into that right now, but just wanted to touch on that briefly. So not only are we looking for the structure, but we're looking for a break of structure, and then we're going to look for a price action pattern. So altogether, so we have sediment, just counting them: sediment, structure, trend, zone, a break of structure, and then some type of price action pattern after a retracement to that structure. So those are all key things, key indicators as far as price action goes. One thing that you could add to that is, and we just covered some of that. So, and that's just simply just like knowing what's driving the market. But anyways, I just wanted to bring that up right here because we did break a trend on the hour. So we'll be looking for, let's check on the 4 hour real quick. This isn't something else I wanted to do. is just kind of see what this is looking at like on the 4 hour. So the 4 hour is kind of like an intermediate between, longer term. So somewhere in the middle. A lot of times you on other instruments you can look at the hour and get a good idea, but with cryptos, the 4 hour is a pretty decent spot to start looking to have a better idea of what levels are holding or not. So we get some long spikes, that might hold on a lower time frame, but the bigger time frames, it won't hold. So looking at this on the 4 hour, one thing that sticks out always, and is sticking out right now kind of, is this spike right here. I saw this yesterday on the hour, and price came back in here. So we were in consolidation, and we actually had a break, but on the retest. So normally when this would happen, I would look for some type of, go to a smaller time frame and look to see the retracement, to see if there's a reversal on a pullback to continue. But right here, we actually saw this happening on the 15-minute. Let's zoom in real quick. Not going to take a whole lot of time right here. Just wanted to kind of get an idea of, personally, I think we're going to consolidate. But so when we broke out here. I remember seeing this flag right here forming, and on the retest we got nice rejection. So those are Adam and Eve rounded out right here, and then Adam right here. So that's a full reversal pattern up here. In the near term, for a target, I'd be looking around 43,000. But because the market's been in such a strong uptrend, we're just waiting. So not actually doing anything right now. Just waiting to look and see where are the places that would be ideal to buy. So reflecting back on what we were talking about at the beginning when we got on with the sediment, identifying the sediment, making sure sediment is still good. Did the structure is still good or has returned? You saw we broke that trend. So, seeing, mainly watching this area down here around 43,000. So those things that get out of alignment then might not be looking for buys. So let's take a look here again. So we have this, and we have it even a bigger Adam and Eve right here. It's probably visible on larger time frame. So here, and this is just a reversal pattern. Over here, just something like this. So the main point be looking at is down here on the hour, 43, 44, 43,200. So we break out of this and get a set. It wouldn't necessarily mean anything, but if we start to range in a different direction, then definitely we'll be watching out for that. So I mean, so if structure stays in a state of sideways consolidation, or will we see something else happen? Will we see a consolidation period and see a drop? This may not be the prettiest thing, but will we start to decline in the range if we do range? So a lot of times we will get a better representation up here. So a lot of times we will go, and as we're consolidating, make lower lows. So that's one thing. That's one of the reasons right now why not thinking about selling. because a lot of times we'll get these flags. They're really prominent and they're bound and they're more prone to break out to the upside. So trade in a reversal pattern right here. If we broke here, just like this, you know, that's one of the reasons why would not be shorting. Just personal preference. Obviously, there are people selling right now. But anyways, until we break above 44, break into 45, or until we go down to 43, we'll be looking at 40, 42. The bottom of that zone's 41, and then down here 38. The bottom of the support 35, like we talked. So also going to be keeping an eye on these moving averages and our stochastic RSI, you know, just for extra. But you know, this could have just been to get people going short, and we could break out here just from this point. So also looking at it like this, see back here, so looking at the possibility of this being, you know, a triangle forming. If it maintains this resistance level up here, then it would be more prone to break out the top even more so. Or if we saw it start to decline, then these are indications that, and of course keeping up to speed with what's happening, you know, behind the scenes, what's driving the market. So if we start to go down in consolidation, it's more prone to break up. You know, mainly going to be watching here to see if this was a fake, or just, you know, to get people shorting if we break back up here. But let's take a look at XRP real fast. Let's look at XRP versus Bitcoin. So we're still holding the structure point that we broke here, but something that I wanted to point out is that we have a head and shoulders right here on XRP BTC. Me personally not wishing, but if always wanting things to, because right now things have gone up so far for Bitcoin, and a lot of the market's kind of, you know, was waiting for pullbacks. A really deep one would be nice, you know, but we'll see how this plays out. XRP has started to pull Bitcoin a little bit, but we had this price action pattern. Just wanted to look at that real quick. Here we are. We actually had a position get stopped out on XRP. It was on the, here it is right here, on the 15. Just wanted to cover that too. So we had a break engulfing. I kind of wondered if this was going to be, if this was, it looked a little bit lower on MT4. Been having issues getting the parameters. The parameters don't match up to MT4 with our EA, so, but anyways, this retest right here, you know, was looking pretty decent, but you know, we came down and we stopped on XRP at this support and supporting trend. So you can see how it stopped right here just perfectly. So with this, now I'm starting to see, so what we've been testing is these downward consolidation periods on XRP. Been watching them too on Bitcoin. So while we're trading XRP, one of the things that definitely remembering and looking at is Bitcoin sentiment, because what Bitcoin is going to do, XRP the majority of the time is going to follow that, even though it hasn't been following it that well lately, you know, or that closely. You know, I know a lot of people are waiting for a break away from Bitcoin So looking out for that too. But anyway, so if we get a break here, we'd really like to see is another retest down to this area down here, whether it's a wick, and then be either looking for a double bottom or an inverse head and shoulders is typically what happens. We were trading on the 15-minute. We've been trading on the 15-minute. We took a couple on the hour. This pattern shows up on the daily. And actually, we can look at it on the daily. So looking for maybe for this to happen. Usually does that, or I'm saying usually, I mean the majority of the time, it'll do inverse head and shoulders, or you'll just get, you know, a double bottom or a triple bottom. So you go 1, 2, 3, where the bottoms would just be flat. So looking for one of those. If it was to come out, say we weren't to break this low, it's really hard to throw a position, or I mean like parameters up there when the setup's not there. It could take several hours. You know, we'll just have to see if we break this trend in this point right here. If we break 66 and go into 67 again, that this might be, and we break this trend, then that might be a signal there. We'll just have to take a look at, see what's happening at Bitcoin at that point in time. Also, but really for the most part, still looking just at XRP while we're trading, but we're, you know, keeping in mind we're trading with market sentiment, identifying structure, historical past behaviors within the structure, what happens when we have bullish sentiment and we have bullish structure complete with price action. We get our retests and all that stuff, and to see, we're just looking to see on average our drawdowns, you know, or how far from our entry does price tend to go for how long, and what's the average, the point, you know, risk to reward on this. So still looking good. We had a loss come up, you know, best expected. Expect a random distribution between wins and losses. So, you know, how many are going to happen, never know. So that's what we're out to find out. But so be looking for a break once again on XRP at 66, 60 into 67 cents here. We have 3 minutes to go, and you know, we'll be keeping everyone up to date inside the group and inside the Telegram channel. If y'all are looking for a place to get free signals, then just look in the comments and you can come and join our free signals channel. Come through the group Market Misfitz. We've renamed the group for the cryptocurrencies. If anybody is, so just so y'all know, so nobody misses it. But just check in the comments to get in the group, and the links for the Telegram are in the group. That's a Facebook group. So anyways, you guys, that's going to do it for now. We will keep you up to date the best we can, and we will holler at y'all later. See ya.